He was texting attack plans, when targets were going to be targeted, how they were going to be targeted, who was at the targets, when the next sequence of attacks were happening. I didn't publish this, and I continue not to publish it because it felt like it was too confidential, too technical, and I worry, honestly, that...
Good morning, YouTube, and happy Tuesday. So I wanted to bring this story to you guys because this guy, I'm just laughing to myself. I wanted to make this video last night, but I was exhausted, like super tired. And so I couldn't make the video last night, but this morning I wanted to make sure to make this video. So this video is regarding Pete Hegseth. Pete Hegseth is the Secretary of Defense. He used to be a Fox News host, and Donald Trump had nominated him, and of course he was Senate confirmed as a Secretary of Defense. So there's news reportings that he sent war plans to an editor at The Atlantic. Apparently these war plans were shared in a group text. And I don't know if you guys know how dangerous that is, but it is excruciatingly dangerous. And this is the guy that said DEI is basically ineffective, and it's the stupidest notion, it's the stupidest thing. This is the guy that suggested that a 4-star general, who happens to be a black man, a 4-star general got that position. He had been this black man had been working in our armed forces, the military. He was a 4-star general for 40 years. I'm pretty sure he wasn't the 4-star general for 40 years, but he had been working in our armed forces for 40 years. Pete Hegseth got him fired. There are speculations because he said before that he kind of insinuated that the guy got his position because DEI, and then Trump takes office and the guy gets fired. This is that same guy who basically, I mean, on TikTok, they refer to him as the DUI hire. I ain't said Pete, I laughed at it, but I ain't say it. But anyway, this is the guy who basically insinuates that diversity, equity, and inclusion is a bug and it's bad for our nation. And this is a guy who admitted that he drinks a lot. That's why they call him the DUI hire. That same guy sent war plans, allegedly. There, I'm going to show you guys the clip. You should have already seen the clip. I always put my clips in the beginning of the video. I'm going to start doing them sporadically throughout the video, but this clip is in the beginning of the video. But this same guy sent war plans to an editor at The Atlantic, which is extremely dangerous. And I was laughing to myself this morning because I'm like, at what point is this country going to admit that this election wasn't about the cost of eggs? These are all the things that I can just rattle off at the top of my head. So Pete Hegseth sending war plans to an editor at The Atlantic, which is extremely dangerous. We have J.D. Vance caught on audio talking crap about Elon Musk. We have Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, just running around firing people and having to rehire them because those firings was unconstitutional, because Congress is in charge of the purse strings. So you just can't willy-nilly fire people because you're like, oh, I want to downsize government. I'm just going to randomly fire people, which is so asinine and ridiculous. We have Donald Trump. Okay, so I wanted to talk to you guys about this too. So Donald Trump, maybe like a week ago, probably was a week, maybe a little bit longer than a week ago, Donald Trump made this huge fuss about Joe Biden's pardons, saying that the pardons was signed with an auto pen, right? So he was insinuating that I guess the pardons wasn't legit because for whatever reason, Donald Trump seems to want to go after Joe Biden's family. So the fact that Joe Biden pardoned his family pisses him off because I guess he wants to find a reason to go after Joe Biden's family. So he made this huge fuss about the pardons being signed, like auto-signed, right? Then it comes out, Donald Trump admits on camera that there was a document that he was supposed to sign, and he said, oh, I didn't sign that. You say, what now? I didn't sign it. Marco Rubio wanted them out. So now he throws Marco under the bus, which is not shocking at all because it's what he do. And Marco Rubio, sweetheart, you gave up your Senate seat to work for Donald Trump, a man that has been antagonizing you since as long as he's been in political life. At what point are we going to admit that this election wasn't about the cost of eggs? It was about the fact that that black woman has a uterus. At what point? Because America thought this was going to be better. What's today? Today is March 25th. Donald Trump got in office January 21st. We're not even at 3 months. We're at like 64 days. And all of this is happening. Let's leave alone the price of eggs, I think, went down 29 cents. So America voted for this to save 29 cents on eggs. Or are we finally going to have to admit as a nation that Kamala didn't get in office because she got black in her and she got a uterus? At what point are we going to get there? Because I've been there. I've been there. At what point is the rest of the nation going to get there? Every day. Every day it's something. And you have these people who rally against DEI because to them, DEI means black. DEI is the new N-word. And so they can't say nigga like on TV or whatever, so they just say DEI. These same people who say DEI is the reason for black people getting every single thing, they get in office after being admittedly, Pete Hegseth admittedly that he loves him a cocktail. He gets in office and he's not even in office for 3 months. And he sends war plans to an editor at the Atlantic. But the 4-star general got his job because of DEI. When are we going to get there, y'all? At what point? When are we going to get to the place that everybody can just say together as a nation, yeah, we voted because we voted the way that we voted because of racism and sexism? Because I'm there. I know most black people, we're already there. We got to get them to admit, because the first step to recovery, you have to admit you have a problem. So yeah, I don't know. I'm resting. Black people, I'm resting. I am not getting worked up. And I know people would be in my comments, well, it's imperative that we pay. Oh, I'm going to pay attention. I'm going to pay attention. I'm going to be knowledgeable. I'm going to be informed, but I am not going to be enraged because I made the right choice. I voted for the right candidate, and I am not on this platform, and I would never say Kamala was a perfect candidate. She was better than this. I believe her administration would have been better than this, but perfection don't exist. So no, she wasn't the perfect candidate. There is no perfect candidate. There's no perfect person. There's only God when it comes to perfection. There's no perfection other than God. So I ain't gonna take you out of church, but it wasn't about her being perfect. When you vote in this country, you're voting for the lesser of two evils. And it is my belief that this nation made a mistake this time. They made a mistake other times too, child. Let's not have that conversation. But this time, because every day there's something. Every day there's something. They're so worried about banning trans people and black people and DEI and all of these things. We got, again, the richest man in the world just willy-nilly laying off federal workers, having to rehire those federal workers because, again, that's unconstitutional. We got Pete Hegseth admitting that he loves a cocktail, being referred to as a DUI hire, but he's rallying against DEI because apparently DEI is the worst thing ever. That person is sending war plans to an editor at the Atlantic and then lying about it, allegedly. We have Donald Trump rallying against Joe Biden, basically insinuating Joe Biden's pardons are not legit because it was signed by an auto pen. For him to only come out a week later and say that he didn't sign a document that his signature is on and that he was supposed to sign. At what point we gonna get there, y'all? At what point will this nation admit to itself? Because we already know. But at what point will this nation admit to itself that, racism and sexism had everything to do with this election? Because it's not possible that people thought this was going to be better. And eggs, shit, I bought eggs not too long ago. They still expensive. Somebody said, oh, eggs went down 29 cents. So everybody decided to run the republic for 29 cents? Oh, okay. I got it. I understand. That document, I just want to make a correction because I believe that I'm right. That the document that Donald Trump was referring to with Marco Rubio, I don't know if Donald Trump's name is on it, but he said he didn't sign it and it was signed and he was supposed to sign it. So the insinuation is that somebody signed his name. I don't know what the details are, but I know he made a huge fuss about Joe Biden, some document, the pardons being signed with an auto pen, just for him to get on camera and admit he didn't sign a document he was supposed to sign. And then said, well, Marco Rubio wanted them gone, and that's why they're gone. And I'm like, did he just throw Marco Rubio under the bus? Marco Rubio should have already known. Look at their past. I have clips of him, little Marco, talking about Marco, like all of these things. And Marco gave up his Senate seat to go work for a man who he has such a problematic past with. And Marco is literally going against everything that he once stood for this administration. It's disturbing to me what these people will do for power. But yeah, I tell you guys in every video, I'm not gonna stress. People, well, it's gonna cause problems for all of us. I understand that, but when you have the problem solver on your side, you don't worry. I'm not worried. Because they're going to do whatever they're going to do if I worry or not. So why would I worry? How is it going to change anything or make anything better? It's not. So I refuse. I just can't wait to the day that because all of the nation will never, that most of the nation can conclude and say definitively, yes, this election was about race and sexism. It was not about the cost of eggs. I don't know who they trying to trick. I don't know who they trying to convince. Because like I said, most people that look like me, we already know what it was about. They just need to get on board. Most of them are on board. They just won't say it out loud. They know. They know. Because ain't no way they thought this was going to be better. But there's that. I'll talk to you guys later. You have a great day. Bye.